Welcome to Save the Earth. Take a moment to look down at what you are wearing right now. Feel the fabric of your shirt. Trace the seam on your jeans. Consider the jacket hanging on the back of your chair. These garments are more than just pieces of cloth designed to keep you warm or stylish. They are the final products of a vast, complex, and often troubling global system. We rarely think about the long journey our clothes take before they reach our closets. A journey that starts in a cotton field or a chemical plant and travels through factories and cargo ships. So, what exactly is fast fashion? In simple terms, it is a business model that focuses on producing high volumes of clothing at incredibly high speeds and low costs. Traditional fashion used to operate on two main seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. Designers would spend months creating their collections, and those styles would remain in stores for several months. Fast fashion completely shattered this model. Instead of 2 seasons a year, fast fashion brands can introduce dozens of micro-seasons. Some companies boast of dropping new styles on their websites every single day, turning the trend cycle from a leisurely walk into a frantic, never-ending sprint. This acceleration is the defining feature of the entire system. To achieve this incredible speed, companies have streamlined their supply chains to a razor's edge. Designs seen on high-fashion runways can be copied, produced, and shipped to stores in a matter of weeks, sometimes even days. This process relies heavily on cheap synthetic materials, like polyester and nylon, which are essentially plastics derived from fossil fuels. These materials are inexpensive to produce and easy to manipulate into various textures and styles. It also depends on a global network of factories located in countries where labor is cheap and environmental regulations may be lax. This model fundamentally changes our relationship with our clothes. When a shirt costs less than a sandwich, we stop valuing it. We begin to see our wardrobe not as a collection of cherished items, but as a revolving door of transient trends. The thrill is no longer in owning and wearing a beautiful garment, but in the act of acquisition itself. Social media amplifies this behavior, with haul videos showcasing mountains of newly purchased cheap clothing, and influencers promoting a culture where being seen in the same outfit twice is a fashion faux pas. This creates immense pressure, especially on young people, to constantly consume and update their look, feeding an engine that demands more and more production with every click and purchase. The result is a system that is inherently wasteful. Fast fashion is not built for longevity. It is built for the landfill. The low-quality materials and poor construction mean that clothes fall apart, lose their shape, or fade after just a few washes. This is not a bug in the system. It is a feature. If the clothes lasted longer, you would not need to buy new ones as often, and the entire high-volume business model would collapse. The industry has successfully convinced us that our clothes are disposable, like paper cups or plastic plates. But unlike a paper cup, a polyester dress does not simply disappear when we throw it away. It lingers, creating problems that will last for generations. A new season arrives, and with it, a completely new set of trends floods the market, pushed by relentless advertising and social media influencers. The dress you bought last month suddenly feels outdated, and the shirt you wore only twice is pushed to the back of the drawer. The environmental cost of fast fashion begins with one of our most precious resources: water. Many of our clothes start as cotton plants, jeans, t-shirts. Cotton can feel soft and breathable, but it's an incredibly thirsty crop. It takes an astonishing amount of water to produce the clothes we wear every day. Manufacturing a single cotton t-shirt can require up to 2,700 liters of water. That's enough drinking water to sustain one person for nearly 3 years. Now multiply that by the billions of t-shirts made each year. The scale becomes staggering. This immense water footprint strains communities and ecosystems worldwide. These aren't abstract numbers, they're real consequences. Much of the world's cotton is grown in regions already facing severe water stress. The Aral Sea, once the 4th largest lake in the world. Aggressive cotton projects diverted the rivers that fed it. the sea shrank to a fraction of its former size. What was a thriving fishing ecosystem is now a toxic desert. Beyond its insatiable thirst for water, the fast fashion industry is a major contributor to global climate change. The entire life cycle of a garment, production of its fibers, transportation across the globe, and its eventual disposal, is incredibly energy-intensive. The fashion industry is responsible for a significant portion of global carbon emissions, about 10%. That's more than all international flights and maritime shipping combined. This massive carbon footprint is driven by a reliance on fossil fuels at nearly every stage. Factories that spin yarn, weave fabric, and sew garments are often powered by coal. The materials themselves are a primary source of these emissions. The rise of fast fashion has exploded the use of synthetic fibers, most notably polyester. Polyester is a type of plastic, and its production relies on petroleum. Manufacturing polyester releases potent greenhouse gases, including nitrous oxide, about 300 times more damaging than carbon dioxide. As brands shifted from natural fibers to cheaper synthetics to keep prices low, the industry's dependence on fossil fuels deepened, tying our wardrobes to the climate crisis. After the clothes are made, factories in Bangladesh, China, and Vietnam. One of the most insidious and long-lasting problems created by fast fashion is something you cannot even see: microplastics. A huge percentage of the clothing produced today is made from synthetic fibers like polyester, nylon, acrylic, and spandex. As we have discussed, these materials are essentially plastics. Every single time we wash these synthetic garments in our laundry machines, they shed thousands of microscopic plastic fibers. These tiny fragments, known as microplastics, are too small to be filtered out by wastewater treatment plants. Consequently, they flow from our homes directly into our rivers, lakes, and oceans, creating a pervasive and persistent form of pollution. Once in the aquatic environment, these microplastics act like tiny toxic sponges. They absorb other harmful pollutants from the surrounding water, such as pesticides and industrial chemicals, becoming increasingly concentrated with toxins over time. Small marine organisms, like plankton and krill, mistake these fibers for food and ingest them. As these smaller creatures are eaten by larger fish, the microplastics and the toxins they carry travel up the food chain. This process, known as biomagnification, means that the concentration of plastics and toxins becomes higher in larger predators. Eventually, these microplastics can end up on our own dinner plates when we consume seafood. The relentless speed of the fast fashion cycle inevitably leads to an equally relentless mountain of waste. Because we are buying more clothes and wearing them less, we are also throwing them away at an unprecedented rate. In the United States alone, the amount of textile waste generated each year is staggering, with the average American discarding about 37 kilograms, 81 pounds of clothing annually. The vast majority of this discarded clothing, an estimated 85%, ends up in landfills and incinerators. This equates to a garbage truck full of textiles being landfilled or burned every single second. Our desire for newness has turned our closets into gateways to the garbage dump. When these clothes are buried in a landfill, they create a host of environmental problems. Natural fibers like cotton might seem harmless, but as they decompose in an anaerobic environment, without oxygen, they release methane, a potent greenhouse gas more than 25 times as effective at trapping heat as carbon dioxide. Perhaps the most shameful and immediate cost of fast fashion is the human one. In order to keep prices impossibly low, something has to give, and all too often, it is the safety, dignity, livelihood of the people who make our clothes. The majority of garment manufacturing has been outsourced to countries with low minimum wages and weak labor protections. Millions of people, mostly young women, work in these factories, toiling for long hours, in dangerous conditions, for poverty-level wages. They are the invisible workforce behind the trendy, affordable clothes that fill our stores. To meet the demanding deadlines and low costs dictated by Western brands, Confronting the grim realities of the fast fashion industry can feel overwhelming, but change is possible. It starts with us. As consumers, we hold significant power. Every purchase we make is a vote for the kind of world we want to live in. Make conscious, intentional choices about your clothing. Together, we can send a powerful message to the industry. You don't need to be a perfect ethical consumer overnight. Small, consistent actions can add up to massive impact. The simplest, most powerful action: buy less. Before you buy, take a moment to pause. Do I truly need this? Will I wear it at least 30 times? Do I already own something similar? Resist buying something just because it's on sale or trendy. Less is more. Build a smaller, more versatile wardrobe of items you truly love. The problems of fast fashion are vast and deeply woven into our global economy, but they are not insurmountable. The dark truths of the industry are coming to light, and with this growing awareness comes the power to demand and create meaningful change. Hope lies in the knowledge that a different way is possible. A future where fashion can be a source of creativity, beauty, and self-expression without destroying our planet and exploiting its people. This change requires action on all levels. Start with the individual choices in your closet and push for systemic shifts from corporations and governments. Advocate for broader, systemic change. Call on governments to implement and enforce stronger regulations. Pass laws that mandate living wages. Ensure safe working conditions. Enact environmental policies that hold corporations accountable for pollution. Ban toxic chemicals. Require proper wastewater treatment. Push companies to take responsibility for the entire life cycle of their products. Design for durability. Design for repairability. Implement take-back programs. Recycle old clothes into new ones to create a truly circular economy. Education is the fuel for this movement. The more people understand the true cost of cheap clothes, the more pressure on the industry. Talk to your friends and family about what you've learned. Share articles and documentaries. Use your voice on social media. Ask, who made my clothes? Ask, where do your materials come from? Ask, what are you doing to reduce your environmental impact? When millions of consumers demand transparency and accountability, brands listen. Your voice is more powerful than you think. Ultimately, this is a journey, not a destination. It's about progress, not perfection. Every positive choice matters. Repair a jacket instead of replacing it. Buy one second-hand shirt instead of 3 new ones. Ask brands about their labor practices. These individual acts ripple outward. They create a cultural shift away from disposable consumption. We can unravel destructive fast fashion patterns and weave a new story for our clothes. A story that is fair, just, and respectful of our planet. The next time you get dressed, remember, you're not just choosing an outfit. You're choosing the future you want to create. Before you go, please like, share, and subscribe. Help save the earth reach more people.